It's pretty wild that, we've had almost, 130 years, at least since Veblen figured this out, for us to figure it out. And instead, what we've done is just invent things like luxury influencers. People whose entire job is doing things like standing in front of a private jet that they don't even own and calling it a brand. So yeah, that's where we are now. And the thing is the club's power over you, it's almost completely dependent on whether you accept its metrics. Whether you agree that what it's measuring is actually worth measuring. And most people, they never really look at that because they absorb the ruler and then they spend their entire lives feeling measured by it. But I don't think that that's inevitable. It just feels that way because it started so early, which I guess is just, a generous way of saying that we really didn't stand a chance. So, all right, there's this idea that comes from the French philosopher René Girard that human desire, it's almost never original because we don't generate wanting from the inside. We borrow it. So what this means is that we look at other people and we see what they want, what they're doing, which then makes us want the same. So Girard calls this mimetic desire, which is really just a slightly academic way of saying that your wanting is mostly just a reflection of someone else's wanting. So from a certain perspective, it's like you've been grinding yourself into dust, chasing something that was assembled by a marketing team in 1987 or whenever, that was installed in you before you could even read. And I know that might sound almost too simple, but, nobody is born into this world dreaming of a swanky corner office or living in a certain zip code wearing a $40,000 watch. I mean, those desires got to come from somewhere. And where they come from is, of course, all the relentless advertising and the social comparison, which of course includes social media nowadays, and watching what the people above you in the hierarchy are telling you what you should be striving for, reaching for. Because we're all social creatures. And we've always used other people as mirrors to figure out what's worth wanting. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a problem on its own, but I do think it becomes a problem when the model that you're imitating is a system that's been designed to keep you reaching and grasping constantly, trying to get into some corrupt elite club that only exists for the purpose of excluding you. And I think that's what we keep, getting stuck on in our society is, we know the system's rigged, but I think we're getting stuck on this longing that's not actually ours. So, we're trapped in this situation where we feel that we're never good enough and we have to constantly prove our worth by acquiring and chasing, where our focus is it's completely fixated on the external. And we don't think about anything internal. There's no real self-awareness. Because we've been in this, raised in this society where we're running towards something probably for most of our lives that got planted in us before we even had a say in the matter. And if this is true, then I guess the question is, did I ever actually want this? Or did I just absorb somebody else's hunger and mistake it for my own, where I then built my life around something that deep down wasn't really mine or wasn't really me? I get this feeling, when I think about this, that if enough people actually seriously asked that question, there'd be a massive number of industries that would almost immediately collapse. So maybe there is a reason it doesn't come up. Okay, so this is what this process does to you. You get the thing, and immediately there's a better version of it, right? And now the thing that you just got feels almost a little embarrassing. It's sort of like obsolete now. And well, the system is working exactly the way it's designed to work. You just weren't reading or seeing the fine print. So the finish line here is it's just a motivational. It acts as a motivational device, but you don't actually get to cross that line. You just get to keep running, like you're on a treadmill from hell, which conveniently costs money, of course, and time, which is not a renewable resource. And